Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sobat Republika, jumpa lagi dalam program Bincang. Dan kali ini tamu kami sangat istimewa karena kita kedatangan Duta Besar Selandia Baru, Mr. Jonathan Austin. Welcome to Republika. Is this your first time?
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. And yes, it's my first time at Republika.
How long have you been here in Indonesia?
So I presented credentials to President Widodo about 2 weeks ago. So
It's very new.
Yeah, that's right, new in Indonesia.
Wow.
It's great to be here.
What was your first impression about Indonesia?
Well, Jakarta is such a big city, but so many friendly people.
Oh, like me?
Yeah, like
Oh,
you.
thank you very much.
Like everybody here.
Okay, one thing about New Zealand was Christchurch. Would you please tell me about it? The tragedy,
Well,
how you handle that?
It was a terrible shock to us that a terrorist would choose to come to our country and to kill our people and our guests, and to do that in a place of worship. It was the first time we've had a terrorist attack, and New Zealanders were really, really shocked by it. I think you saw that in the reaction of our Prime Minister. We were concerned, first of all, for the victims and their families, and then we were concerned to try and address, how it happened, and then we were also worried about how this had spread on social media. So it was a huge shock to people in New Zealand, but we were so grateful for the support and encouragement that we had from around the world, including in our friends in the Islamic world, and particularly in Indonesia. Not only because you're the largest Islamic country, but you're our closest neighbour in Asia, and we've had 61 years of a really strong and positive relationship. So when thousands of Indonesians contacted us directly or made comments, that really meant a lot to us, because it was really important for us that people understood that that was not what New Zealand is like. That New Zealand is a very diverse and welcoming country where we welcome people of all kinds of different faiths, and we were so shocked by what had happened. So I just say, through you and to your readers and viewers, how grateful I am, how grateful the government and the people of New Zealand are for the support that we have had, both from the Indonesian government but also from ordinary Indonesians. Terima kasih banyak for that support.
Oh, you speak bahasa?
Hanya sedikit.
But we also grateful for the way the Prime Minister handled the issue. I think she gains more admiration around the world, from around the world.
Well, no, thank you for saying it. I think she spoke for all New Zealanders, and the way she reacted was her natural reaction, and I think she spoke for us all. And the things that she did afterwards, I think, reflected how most New Zealanders felt. I was in Christchurch a few days after the event. My daughter studies at school there, so we were going to see her, and I was struck by how many ordinary New Zealanders were there outside the mosque, there to offer their support. People were taking food to the victims' families, or I remember myself seeing a small girl bringing her teddy because she wanted to give her teddy to one of the made me really sad even to think about it. But there was this huge sort of outpouring of support from ordinary New Zealanders to their neighbours, and who had been caught up in this terrible attack.
I watched a biker gang dance, perform war dancing every time.
Yes, so there's a Maori dance called a haka, and sometimes you can do that as like an expression of support for people. So yeah, you're right, even like these hardcore biker gang guys, they were there as well as ordinary people. So our government's first concern was to look after the victims and their families, and we've done that. We've covered all their medical care, we've got arrangements in place. New Zealanders gave millions of dollars actually to the victims, and so we wanted to make sure that they're properly taken care of. And then we wanted to get rid of the guns. So within 2 weeks we had banned these automatic weapons. We're now spending nearly $250 million buying them all back. It's now illegal to have those weapons. All this has happened very quickly. We wanted to get rid of them. We've got an independent inquiry into what happened and how did it happen. Is there anything that we could have done differently, or we could have thought about that we did not think about? And then internationally, we're working with a group of countries, including Indonesia, on what's called the Christchurch Call. And this is a call to social media platforms in particular to address the problem of violent extremist content online. As you may know, the terrorist in Christchurch live streamed what he did on Facebook. And we think it's outrageous that he was able to do this. And by the way, we refuse to use his name in New Zealand. We don't want to give him any respect.
The terrorist doesn't have any name.
He has no name. He is a terrorist. He doesn't deserve any respect.
If I'm not mistaken, the Prime Minister went to the UN to discuss about this, right?
So we'll be raising it at the UN General Assembly in September, but this group of Christchurch core countries have already met in Paris. Vice President Kala was there representing Indonesia. And we're working together to try and tackle this problem. It won't be easy, but we have to tackle it.
Yeah. And what do you find something in common between Indonesia and New Zealand?
There are so many things in common. Even words in Bahasa, which are the similar words in our indigenous language, Maori. So mata is one example.
Really?
Yeah, so mata for eyes.
Wow.
In Maori, the word for fish is ika.
Ika?
So ikan. So there are many kind of cultural similarities.
This is new thing for me.
Right. So there are over 7,000 Indonesians living in New Zealand, for example. And it's great to have Indonesians there. It's great to have people from around the world, because we think that having people from different backgrounds and different faiths and different beliefs, it makes us stronger.
Multicultural, multi-religion.
It gives you more ideas. It gives you more experience.
Yes,
Otherwise, you're just living in your own little world. But if you're meeting people from around the world, you learn from them, and together you can create more things.
Yes. It's getting more and more interesting, but we have to cut this. Maybe we continue after this. Sobat Republika, jangan kemana-mana. Setelah ini kita akan lanjutkan obrolan kita tentang Selandia Baru.